Agriculture's effect on water and pollution. What is a direct pollutant? A direct pollutant is a source of pollutants that would be more along the lines of factories, refineries, and other buildings that exude gases. One particular way that direct pollutants affect water naturally is through acid rain. With water collecting in part of runoff, it contaminates larger bodies of water. In Figure 1, we can see that direct sources of pollution are visible through carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, and nitrous dioxide, and lead. These are what the causes of direct pollutants are in society today. Indirect pollutants, they are typically the usage of pesticides, fertilizers, and other chemicals in the production or upkeep of agriculture. These are indirect sources of pollution because they do not go directly to the water or the air. They are used to benefit plants, and even though they actually cause long-lasting damage. How does that happen? Most pesticide and fertilizer movement into the water is across the treated surface, runoff, or downward from the surface, leaching. Runoff water may travel into drainage ditches, streams, ponds, or other surface water where pesticides and fertilizers can be carried great distances off-site. Pesticides and fertilizers that leach downward through the soil sometimes reach the groundwater. In Figure 2, we see that how pollution affects the soil and the water around it. You can see that the human health, the direct contact, and the agriculture in the soil, it contaminates the soil, and then it affects the water nearby through direct contact. Why do we use them? Without these pollutants, it would be harder to cultivate and supply the desired amount of agriculture and support that the amount of livestock that people demand. So simple supply and demand to feed the average, human being. What is the solution? A possible solution would be using the brackish water. Brackish water is water with a higher salinity than fresh water. However, it has less than salt water. They have little variance between the control of the brackish groups of plants. This means that when they did a study, both systems were deemed healthy and in a good middle solution without damaging or harming either control plants. What's brackish water? In Figure 3? In Figure 3, you can see that where salt water and fresh water, there's this zone of diffusion, and in that zone of diffusion, we have the mixture which creates the brackish water. Brackish water has a higher salinity of fresh water, but is not as salinity as fresh water, so we find brackish water in the zone of diffusion. Solutions. Both brackish water and no pesticide planting are options that are available, and it is important to address those solutions and see if we can be at least a short-term fix that is not too costly while people research different solutions that can be permanent to prevent the contaminants in the water caused by agriculture. And these are the references.